Oh, we're live. Let's go. What's up, everybody? What we got? We got Flexi here. We got Red Guy, Nolt, Joe Cherry, Platinum in the house, Scatterbug, get out. So who told Scatterbug we're doing a live stream? Who told Scatterbug we're doing a live stream? I told him specifically we're not doing a live stream because he's not supposed to see this. Because you're part of the live stream, bro. What? What? If I fall asleep halfway through, just shake me. Well, you're gonna have to kind of get a setup going where I have a button here that I can press. Doge to the moon. Oh, are we Bitcoin in here? I own some Doge. Just gonna say that. Sneaky Steve, what's up, man? Hello, everyone. My man DC, my man Red Guy, what's up? What's up? All right, cool. Cool. Let's have some people get in here. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like this stream started off too smoothly. I feel like I'm missing something. I do have to show you guys something here in a little bit. Ooh, what was that? What was that? I also have, I'm live on TikTok right now, so that's kind of interesting. I've recently gotten a partition in 3 different groups. Oh, uh, uh, Rod Cena has his party being split up into 3 different groups. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I've had that happen, but it's more so like role play, like downtime type stuff, you know? I issue it out with roles, individual roles for different things, just to see how it goes. Nothing that's super high stakes, but sometimes it gets high stakes. Coming from Japan, Alex from Japan. That's awesome. Omega finally caught alive. Welcome, Omega. Joe Terry to the moon. Working. How are you doing? I'm doing good, Aaron. I'm doing good, doing real good. We got family in town. My son's birthday was yesterday, so that's something. Son's birthday was yesterday. Steve Reeney's here. What's up, Steve? Charles Burton. Let's go. Let's go. Charles Burton says, "Let's go. Let's freaking go." Yeah, my son's birthday was yesterday, so that was crazy. He's 1. He's 1 years old. It's crazy. Literally crazy. Already, I know. The people that have been around for the channel remember when I was like, my son's about to be born. Oh, blah, blah, blah. So thank you, Ramino. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Estro. Thank you. So here's the thing for how today works here, guys. We got the boss, which is currently me. That sounds weird saying that I'm the boss, like a boss. Every super chat you deals damage to the boss. If you kill the boss, then you become the boss. And I have a different boss setup this time. I think it's going to be a more fun way to do it. Is if you land a killing blow on the boss, however much you kill it by becomes how much health you have. So if you really kill it, I don't even know how much health these things might have. I don't even know. But the cool part is also at the top here, we have a stream goal. The stream goal for this stream is to help towards a computer for Scatterbug. It was such a cool thing after this mini little story. In fact, right now, hashtag question. There you go. Looked like a gang sign for a second. Hashtag question into the chat, whatever your D&D question is. Go ahead and ask it now. The moderators will grab it, snag it in there. I should probably go to the moderator chat so I can see the questions. There we go. We're in. So moderators will snag your questions, grab them up, and I appreciate all the people that are here at the beginning. All right, 37 already. That's crazy. I answer those questions in a second, but I got a really cool story to tell you guys. So the community that is part of this dungeon crew has blown me away. And I have a dungeon company. It's DC Dungeon Company. Yeah, okay, cool. You get it. Could you expect any less? Clever naming. But in the dungeon company, I have captains that are in charge of different stuff. And one of my art captains, Scatterbug, who's in the chat right now, his computer literally imploded on itself and he can't draw. And if you don't know, Scatterbug draws every single one of my thumbnails. All of my thumbnails are hand drawn by Scatterbug. So whenever he doesn't have a computer, that's a big problem for us, guys. So anyway, all the captains came together and like donated part of their paychecks from me that I help out and give whatever I can back to the community for them being able to make this whole dungeon coach thing even possible. They've chipped in and everything, and this is going to be the final kicker here. We're going to get it to him no matter what. Like we're going to get him the computer no matter what. It's actually already like it's a done deal. But this is going to help offset that computer situation because we got a Kickstarter What is that in my hand? We got a Kickstarter launching off here, so things are a bit tight. So that's goes to a big cost. So there's that. So let's get into the questions, guys. Let's get into the question. Metal Gear Solid. Jacob Lohair. Oh my God, is he? Oh, he has the second question. I should have known. Jacob Lohair is super quick, super quick. Sorry, I haven't got yeah. No, hey, but it's been so cool to see everybody come together for all that. So let's go. We're on it. We're rolling. There we go. All right. First question comes from Chris Thomas. Why do you persist? Why do you persist in focusing exclusively on 5e when you clearly have so many problems with it, fixing its issues, taking up all your time? So that's what's funny, Chris, is I love 5th edition, right? So I don't want. Oh, hold on. I just noticed. That looks cooler, right? All right, cool. Anyway, sorry, ADD brain. I saw myself. Uh, I don't have problems with 5th edition. I just have different ways that I would do it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the homebrews that I put out there and I say, sometimes those homebrews I use in my games, which that makes sense, right? But sometimes I don't use them. Sometimes I run them straight up. Sometimes if I have a group that's a bunch of veterans and that we're doing a one shot or a two shot, I'm not going to probably throw my rest system on them, right? Because it's a one shot, so it doesn't really, it's not as big of a deal. So I think the beautiful part of 5th edition is it's so simple, it's so user friendly, and all of its settings and wheels and knobs are so customizable that you can really custom fit 5th edition to be the perfect version of 5th edition to be able to do that. Now, the true answer to your question is in about 5 or 6 years, depending on when 6th edition release, I'm going to release my own D20 system. And we'll see how it goes, right? It might be something I just release out there and then I keep doing 5th edition, or if everyone loves it, I might keep doing that. I don't know, but that's going to be way down the road. But so I would say I would rethink of it. I don't have so many problems with it. I have so many solutions to potential problems that so many people could have, right? Because even in a video like my counterspell video, I propose multiple different options on how to fix counterspell for you, because your version of what's wrong with it might be different than mine. So there's my answer on that, right? When does the Kickstarter go live? Red guy it goes live July 1st. Oh my God, guys, it's a month away, less than a month away. That's crazy. I'm not stressed out about it. No, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Heartwarming story about about a tiny bug who has friends. Oh my God, that reminds me of the Bug's Life. Bug's Life. There we go. Heck yeah. You are loved. This whole community is so loving. Heck yeah. Oh, Nightbot's even talking about my Kickstarter. That's so cool. My moderators are geniuses because I don't know how to work any of that stuff. That's crazy. The Nightbot says the Kickstarter's coming soon and then link the Kickstarter. So you can click the link right there and join in on that. Cresser Productions, coach, your video has been super helpful lately. I really appreciate you helping my level up my game. Oh, level up the game. Love it. I love praising it like that. So that speaks to me. Appreciate it. Chris Thomas, I got you. Appreciate it. Whoa, super chat. What the heck? Joe Cherry, super chat, $100 super chat. Guys, we're 9 minutes in. Joe Cherry is dropping the Platinum Dragon fire breath on the boss. I was the boss right here a second ago, and then Joe Cherry and his Platinum Dragon white hot breath just eviscerated me. I'm out, and Joe Cherry's now the boss. So good luck taking this Platinum Dragon down. That's crazy, Joe. Dude, I appreciate that. That's crazy. And Joe Cherry didn't even ask a question. So I didn't think I said this, but your questions are in a line right here. I see them all right now. I'm going to start going through them. But if I can't get to the question quick enough, you can jump to the front of the line with a super chat. And if you super chat me a question, I'll answer it right away because I appreciate you. So, dude, that's crazy. GOAT for sure. Joe Cherry's the GOAT. He's the Platinum GOAT. Is that better than Platinum Dragon? I don't even know. So, all right. So here we go. Next question, of course, comes from Jacob Lohair. Question: my first travel-based game. Ooh, how do you know when to narrate / skill check / encounters? It's uncharted wilderness, so I'm having a hard time getting a cycle going naturally. Any tips? Yeah. Especially if your game is a travel-based game, you need to have multiple variations of travel in that game, or it's going to, no matter what travel system you use, it's going to get boring, right? In fact, This might be a rant. This might be a rant right here. We might unlock a rant right now. We're gonna rant mode it, right? Here we go, rant mode. Rant mode is engaged. Buckle up. Okay. Let's see. So the travel. Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. Cool. So you're running a travel-based game. There's going to be a ton of different travel. A ton of. there's a little outtake there. You're running a travel-based game, and there's a ton of different types of travel you want to throw at your players. Okay, you can't just have one variation of travel that you're going to always use, especially if you have a travel-heavy game here. This is the middle of a live stream. Somebody asked a question about how to run travel in a travel-focused game. Is if you pick one way to run travel, it's going to get old no matter what you do. My first time DMing ever, I did a hex crawl. I made this whole map. I drew on it. I got colored pencils, everything. And each hex, I had a secret thing, like Who Sunk My Battleship type situation of what was really there and where they were going. And each day they had 3 space, all that stuff, right? You can do that, right? But you shouldn't necessarily always do that. Or if you do have a system that is throughout everything, don't have it be overbearing on the entire game and it literally slows the game down in multiple different ways whenever it really shouldn't be as big of a thing. So if you do have an overarching thing that you're putting in your entire travel-based campaign, have it be a setting that's not always overbearing, so that if you want to have a hex crawl system, don't have it be so many hex squares, just have it be larger. Or if they're traveling through places they've already traveled through, let them fast travel, almost like video game style. They unlock places to go, right? So anyway, back to all the overall travel systems. There's tons of way to do travel. I have a whole thing in my Kickstarter, Outcanner's Almanac of all things. Ooh, what is this? It's not really, it's a notebook. It's not really the thing. It's in the works right now, depending on how well the Kickstarter goes. But in that book, I have an entire chapter 2 of expansion to the exploration system. So you have skill checks. You could easily do, you're traveling through whatever and it's the middle of the day, but they get to a certain spot and you want to spice up travel and they have to travel through a dangerous section, throw a skill challenge at them. Or if they're just traveling along and they get ambushed, have it be a skill challenge. It doesn't always have to be a combat or something like that. Or second variation is random encounter tables. Have random encounter tables for the section of the world they're in that makes sense for this Arctic place they're going through, or this forest that they're going through, or the mountains, or whatever. And I usually do like to give my players a choice of how are you going to get there. Are you going to take the main roads? It takes quicker. Or are you going to take the main roads? What? Are you going to take the main roads and get there quicker, or are you going to take the side roads? guys I'm not even okay. Used a wish to travel. That's crazy, Steve. Okay, are you going to take the main roads and have it be a really safe route, or are you going to take a shortcut through and it'd be a little bit more dangerous? So if they take the dangerous route, I'm going to roll differently on the encounter tables. I get into all that there, but have encounter tables ready to be able to have them roll. There's a bunch of different ways you can handle off that. I'm going to be doing a video on that too. I'll put that in the description. But another way is to just run off travel kind of piece by piece and just have it be more cinematic and a more story experience, to where they're like, where are you kind of going? And you meet people along the way. Have pre-written things there that you chose as the dungeon master to put there. Maybe sprinkle in some random encounters, whatever. And with that more free, open method, you as the dungeon master can control how long you want it to take. Do you want it to be like, okay, well, we're going to backtrack to the last town. Okay, fast travel. Or if they're going to go to somewhere they've never gone before, be like, okay, this is going to take 3 days and we're going to see what happens on each day. And then we'll have little role play rest moments for you to take at the night watches and stuff like that. And there's a whole section on there for rest too. But you want to keep varying things up. And then over time, and this is going to, especially if you've never ran this before, over time, there's going to be different things where like, oh, I want to do this environmental thing. So maybe your environmental travel things are a skill challenge. Maybe your your creature environmental thing, your creature combat things are actual combat that you actually run off and roll off combat. Maybe it's theater of the mind combat. Maybe it's full-blown combat. And then maybe they have a super easy day of travel and they have a rest encounter that in the middle of the night they get an encounter in some way. Or positive encounters, they meet people along the road that maybe have a quest hook. Maybe they're part of a bigger thing. I don't know. So keep sprinkling in lots of different things and you'll find things that the players responded to because you keep checking it out. But watch your players. As you're throwing stuff at them, see the response around the table, how they talk about it before or after the session. See what they like and adjust your gameplay to that. Cool. There you go. That's a rant right there, guys. That's a rant. Freaking Jacob Lohair busted out a rant right off the bat. Let me get caught back up with the chat here, guys. Rant mode engage. Red guy rant mode. I like skill challenges for travel. Me too, Crit Academy. I love skill challenges for travel. It's I would say, God, I don't want to say I do it every other time, but I mean, especially if it's dangerous. I like to do it if it's dangerous, and especially if I don't want to have a combat in like a full-blown combat. Like that could take a while. Hey, has it started yet? Really looking forward to tonight's Q&A. JJ, we're in the Q&A right now, dude. JJ Brewer, we're doing it. Are you a JJ Homebrewer? What a great name. Um, the Abyss. Yeah. Oh, the Abyss is coming, Steve. Don't worry. Patreon Abyss. 2 months from now, all patrons will be getting a whole bunch of an entire world of the Abyss. Don't you worry. um, Jacob, thanks, coach. You got your questions worth right there. um, Avalon, Avalon Inc. Pew pew. We can take the platinum dragon down. Look at that little dent in the health bar. Beep. Ava got it. Oh, she's taking down the dragon. I meant that as like that's the first step, guys, to dethroning Joe Cherry. Thank you, Ava. Thank you, Ava, for the super chat. Ava is my the other other art captain, jumping in there, thrown to the cause of the computer. Appreciate you. Okay, so we got some more questions. Let's get back into it. I'm going to go a little faster now because I'm a little behind from a rant question on question number 2. So let's go. Aaron has a question. What is your favorite plane of existence? Oh, I love the planes of existence, dude. Aaron, it's the Abyss. It's the Abyss. And no wonder somebody asked up there about the Abyss. Limbo's a close second. I just did a whole on my Patreon right now. Patreon right now has the not the Abyss, not yet. Has the entire plane of Limbo and the psionics. The mentally, I'm doing a video this week on the psionics. A brand new class, subclass, races, all about psychic stuff. Right. That's the two things you get if you join Patreon right now. Those are the 2 PDFs you get. But in July is a weapons and armor overhaul. I'm fixing weapons, armor, and shields, changing them all up. It's going to be absolutely huge. Maybe one of the hugest things I've done to the game. And then the month after that, so August, is going to be the Abyss. I love the Abyss. I have a freaking thesaurus of the Abyss with like 15 different layers of the Abyss, which I know the Abyss is infinite layers, but trust me, 15 different layers of the Abyss, fully fleshed out. It's super. I love the Abyss. It's so random and chaotic in how it works. I think it's so cool. So there's my favorite plane of existence, Aaron. As you can tell, maybe I got get pretty excited about the planes of existence. So heck yeah. What else we got? Jacob Lohair. A super chat from Jacob Lohair that just says pew. And 80 Barnes with the $5 super chat, finger guns, pew 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 pew. So with 80 Barnes's finger guns combined with Ava and Jacob, we got pew pew. And the dent thickens. Also, if we hit the stream goal, I give away I give away PDFs, and if you're already a patron, I give away a D&D book. So it's crazy. It's crazy. The Far Realm Crit Academy with the Far Realm. Whoa, dude. Far Realm's freaking out there, dude. It's the craziest one for sure. But I have something for that too. So I'm a planes nut. So I won't get into that. Next question. Brain cell. I love your little yep, there it is, your little emoji icon thing. Whoops. I keep bumping my freaking mic here. Brain cell question. Do you have any ideas for a bleeding effect or bleeding damage that isn't from other editions like 4th edition? I hope you have Brain cell. The July PDF for weapons. There's a type of weapon, maybe axes, that can deal bleeding damage as an action. You can choose to do bleeding damage. And in the past, I've had magic weapons that are really just mundane weapons that have properties to them that aren't magical at all. It's just like a sword wrapped with barbed wire. There you go. That's going to cause a bleed effect. But anyway, how I run bleeding personally in my game is if you have the bleed condition, it's a condition. It's gonna be in Alexander's Almanac too. A bunch of different new conditions for stuff like this. If you have the bleeding condition, which can be brought upon you by a various amount of ways. Usually it's a Constitution saving throw from an attack. The DC would be the Marshall save DC. That's a whole nother conversation. But whatever the DC is, if they fail the DC from a Constitution save, they get the bleeding condition. If you have the bleeding condition, you bleed 1d4 damage every single round, right? At the end of every single round, you take 1d4 bleeding damage. Actually, no, wait. I think it's the beginning of every round. I'm pretty sure it's the beginning of every round. At the beginning of every round, you take 1d4 bleeding damage. I'm gonna have to really think about that though, because even saying that, I don't want to because I feel no. I think you would take it initially, and then it's at the end of every round. There you go. So if you do an attack that causes bleeding, that you roll an additional d4 on that attack, and there's a 1d4 necrotic damage because bleeding, losing of your life essence, is 1d4 necrotic damage, and then that repeats at the end of every round until you receive any healing. In 1 point of healing, you're cured from the bleed condition, or a DC 10 medicine check. If you want to be hard, you can do a DC 15 medicine check. That's probably what I would do. But there you go. Depending on how severe the bleed is, maybe, right? But yeah, that's how I would do it. Or you could put a threshold of how much healing's needed to close the wound. Maybe you need 5 points of healing to close it up. Who knows? But yeah, there's that. And what else we got here? Yeah, there's a question. So, whoa, we got a super chat. I missed out here. What's happening here? Warlock multi-class rogue soul knife. Whoa. That's crazy, Fluxy. Oh my God, Catherine. What's up, cuz? My cousin's in the chat. What's up, cuz? Steve Reaney of the $5 super chat. 1 month, maybe next year, you should do a PDF for Sigil. Oh, Steve Reaney. Oh, buddy. Yeah, I could totally do a PDF for Sigil. The problem is, I can't call it Sigil, so I call it Nexus. Luckily, Nexus isn't in the chat right now because he loves that it's called Nexus, but it's called Nexus. So it is Sigil though. I just, copyright reasons, I can't say Sigil because it's, Wizard of the Coast, pay respects, right? So I call my version Nexus. It's the center of everything. And I am going to flesh that out, but I'm going to do that after all of them, right? So there may or may not be a Kickstarter in 2 years for the Planes of Existence that I'm going to be constantly working on. But until then, that's going to be something to look forward to because I love Sigil. I have a whole bunch of stuff on that. Okay, what else we got? Great ideas. Pew, pew, pew. More pew, pew, pew. Question. Okay, cool. Red Guy. Question. Got plans for more planar exploration videos. Loved your one about Limbo. Guys, you guys love the Planes of Existence. Y'all are speaking to me right now. Yes, August 1st. So in 2 months from now, I'm doing The Abyss. And my God, The Abyss is a big one. I'll say that it is going to be the largest PDF that I've made for Patreon or on Patreon. It's crazy. It's gonna be crazy. So yes, those are coming, and I'm gonna be honest real quick, or some behind the scenes. When I released the Limbo PDF, when I released the that thing, it didn't do very well. The Limbo PDF. Not many. I lost 200 patrons. So I was like, well, okay, whoa, maybe people don't like the Planes of Existence, but now y'all are saying you like the Planes of Existence, so who knows? So that scares me because I can't have that happen every time. But yes, I do plan on weaving in the Planes of Existence every 3 months or so. I was going to do every other month, but whoa, I don't know. Every 3 months, I'm going to probably do a Plane of Existence and kind of have a thing going in there. More monsters, subclasses, magic items, quests, all that kind of stuff. Tons of stuff right there. Steve, thank you. You like my Limbo? Appreciate it. Gotcha. Fast hands here. Oh, okay, cool. Maybe you do more than one plane at a time. Oh, Brain Cell. Whoo, you're crazy, Brain Cell. You're crazy. You know how much it takes a lot of work, much not just in general, to do the one Plane of Existence, much less two. If I was full time, I would maybe even think about that and do like a couple at a time. Maybe that'd be cool, and just super pack the value in there. That'd be crazy, but that'd be rough. I can't do that right now. Andre, oh, what's up, Andre? Penfilov. I recognize your name, and I just know I don't know how to say it. My bad. Oh, wait, hold up, Andre. I just saw a super chat. Fast Hands Hero with a super chat, hacking down the Platinum Dragon, thinking about a Dragon Rider campaign. Ooh, how would you homebrew a pack? How would you homebrew a pack between? Oh, a packet? A pact? How would you homebrew a packet between Rider and Dragon? Something that grows with their bonds, starting with egg. Okay, I think it's a pact. Yeah. So, Yeah, that's so cool. That's so a Dragon Rider campaign. First of all, if one player is going to have a dragon, they all have to have a dragon. You know what I'm saying? And if I ran this campaign, I'm just going to throw out some stuff here. If I ran a Dragon Rider campaign, oh my god, I want to do that now. That's so freaking cool. So freaking cool. Chandler with a Z super chat. I finally made it. Hi, coach. What's up, Chandler? You made it, dude. You made it. $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Okay, so back to the Dragon Riders. Is if I ran a Dragon Rider campaign, everyone would start off with an egg, right? And then have a different color of the egg, and there would be some sort of thing at the beginning, and there'd be some sort of trial at the beginning of, how they got it, and like some sort of magic that bonds them to their egg, and like what sort of maybe a sort of emotions that passed into the egg and helps sculpt its personality depending on these moments that they interact with their player. So I would give each dragon a certain emotional spectrum. I did this with sentient items. I have 2 different videos on sentient items a long time ago. But how I run sentient items, I give them an emotional spectrum. Like a super easy one is happy, sad, right? So that might be the spectrum I give them, or it might be violent and passive, right? And maybe that's kind of the spectrum they put them on. So maybe I give one of the players a violent passive dragon. So when they first start, depending on how they interact with that dragon, it's going to start shifting towards a side. Maybe the passive dragon, if you start going further and passively, maybe it starts to gain healing properties, like a healing dragon. What? And maybe it's magic, maybe its breath is a healing breath. Like that's freaking cool. Like what? I just came up with that right now, applying the sentient item thing to the dragon thing. You know what I'm saying? It's freaking cool. Or that same dragon, if exposed to some violence or some corruption in some ways, maybe it becomes overly aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So I would put an emotional spectrum on each of these dragons. The players would not know the emotional spectrum, and over time they would learn through talking and communicating with it. It would help you as a dungeon master be able to role play these dragons as well. And then I would heavily weave in downtime into this thing, so that the downtime that you get is when the dragons grow up. And I'd make sure to purposely weave in some time to help the dragons grow up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I introduce something where they go to a different plane of existence and the time passes faster there. And when they come back, ooh, maybe no time has passed if I want to keep things kind of on the same line. But there you go. And yes, it grows as you level up. Yes, Purple Dragon Knight, HB Strong. That's me right there. I'm the Purple Dragon Knight. Let's go. I would make a DMPC and I'd play in that. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Hey, PTR Rider, you saw me streaming on TikTok. Welcome. Welcome. We got 85 people now. That's what's up. Let's go. Sig Love, great ideas. Thank you. Love, Fast Hands Hero. I got you. Fast Hands Hero. All right, next question. Back to Andre. We're back to Andre. What are some of the homebrews that you would want to be implemented at my table? Wait, what? What are some of the homebrews you would want to be implemented at any table? Oh, yours and others. Okay. That's honestly, I mean, okay, I'm not trying to constantly talk about this whole Alcantar's Almanac thing, but that's why I'm making it. This is why I'm making it, because this book is going to be everything that I would throw out at a table. I think glancing blows are a cool one, where if you hit someone's armor class exactly, you deal half damage. It's like a cool moment at the table. And I've given some people, I had a paladin where if his armor class was exactly hit, it was a glancing blow and he got an opportunity attack against them, because it was like, pow, like in video games, whenever somebody's swinging at you and you block right whenever they block, and you get this like, bang, that was super cool for them. They're like, glancing blow, and they'd roll their D20. So that was always fun. My rest system, it would be probably another one, and bonus level up perks. Those are my top 3, I'd say right there. Really my favorite homebrew just for as a DM is the bonus level up system. And I just love doing it. It's one of my favorite things to do as a DM. And my favorite logistical homebrew is my rest system, and glancing blows are just cool, and it's super easy to do, super fun. Vile Kerr did a campaign like that. I'm assuming you're talking about the Flying Dragons. So heck yeah. Whew, buddy. Kenku, as we speak, you're building a Kenku. Raven Rich is building a Kenku. I bet it's a black Kenku, like a little raven. Catherine, love Dragon Rider stuff. It's so cool that you're here, Catherine. My freaking cousin's in the chat. It's like a family, guys. It's like the whole streams now is a big family. You guys are a family. My actual family's in here too. What's happening? This is cool. Anyway, I almost went on a tangent. Okay, Aaron has another question. I'm running an East Asian campaign. Got any tips? Woo! What? I'm running an East Asian campaign. Do I have any tips? I am not a very worldly dude, my dude. Um, East Asian. I, that's. I'm assuming you're talking about like the world setting of East Asian currently, and I sadly don't have anything for you. And I feel like I want to elaborate and maybe like, oh, like let's talk about like some homebrew stuff, but then it would take me forever because I honestly don't know, and then I can't answer more questions, so I feel bad, but sorry, Aaron. Chris Trunks question: would you ever consider adapting Pathfinder first edition's word magic system? Interesting. Moderators, log this off to the side, or send me a question about the word magic system. I'm very interested in this. I have my own magic system that I've never made a video about. It's super sketchy and dicey, and dicey. Get it? Anyway, but write down word magic system, Pathfinder first edition word magic system. Chris, I'm going to find out what the heck that is, and then it's on the list now for me to review. So I'm adding it to there. Thanks, Chris. Wow, that gives me a cool idea. An albino Kenku? Stevie's making an albino Kenku. Feudal Japan in Saganosha. Interesting. Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, hold on. Okay, back to the questions. Question. One of my group will soon get out of a dungeon and their action being evil. Okay, I don't know if I can't read tonight, guys, but let's do this. Hold up. One of my group will soon get out of a dungeon, and their action being evil god and the four horsemen. But now you will make the stats of their gods. I have a hard time selling it. Their action. I gotta have to read it one more time. One of my group will soon get out of a dungeon, and their actions are being evil. They're being an evil god of the four horsemen, but they will make stats for gods, having a hard time selling it. I think that you're going on a campaign arc about the four horsemen with all that kind of stuff. I can't put the question together in a way to be able to know what they're talking about for the four horsemen and the stats for the guy. So if new DM 107, if you're in the chat, maybe we can clarify some stuff there, but I don't want to go on a riff because I don't have enough to make sure I'm going in the right direction. There you go. Okay, yeah, and questions. Throw out a question. I'm gonna try and get to them as I move quickly through these, but jump to the front of the line with super chats. There you go. And let's keep running through these questions. So that's what happens when you get 85 people, guys, and that's what happens when I like really dive into your questions. And then oh, my wife's in the chat now too. It's a super family affair, guys, or maybe family affair is not a good family event. Yeah, can't believe he's won. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. His birthday was yesterday. If y'all didn't see that, my son's birthday was yesterday. So crazy times. So anyway, next question. Kiana Shelley, Kiana. Love your videos. Thank you. I've been looking through them lately just to help with my games. Have any advice for GMs with uninquisitive players in terms of lore or anything? That's totally fine. Because right now, think of it from their perspective. They have no reason to be inquisitive, right? So you need to put things in front of them that if you want them to be inquisitive. This is like training your players type stuff. Psychological manipulation. Just kidding. You want to train them to be inquisitive by rewarding them or seeing and have them see that they could have been rewarded through being inquisitive, right? So if your players are disengaged and they're just kind of like, you know what, this is a rant. Hold up, buckle up. This is a rant. Here we go. Looking through them, I want to make sure I get the question again. Any other advice with uninquisitive players? Okay, here we go. So you got uninquisitive players that aren't super interested in the lore of your game, because ultimately you shouldn't really be trying to tell a story and this is your world and you want to get your players to be excited about your world. But how can you do that? Because your players might not be that way off the bat. And it makes sense because they might not have a reason to. Maybe they've played with you in the past and all you are telling some story and it's all about the story that you have and everything. But how can you make them care about it? You want to give them little nuggets and rewards to where if they do care about it, cool stuff happens. If you want to train them in a certain way, if you have a DM style that you're wanting to get to sync up with your players, that's an important thing because you want to have fun as a DM. You want them to have fun. And if you love the lore and world of your game, it has to matter to them in some way, but how does you make it matter? So the first thing is tie it to their backstory and care enough as a dungeon master with your story and that you have and all these things that weave them into that. So it's a y'all story. There's my Texas showing. But look at their backstory. Give them something about their backstory. But maybe these uninquisitive players didn't give you a really good backstory. Sit down with them one-on-one. I have multiple videos I've done on backstories. I'll link in the description. I have an entire free PDF about backstories to help your players kind of coax it out of them. But sit down with them and get them to have, say, at least something having to do with their backstory. Or let's say they didn't give you a backstory and you kind of like co-created one. Think about the things that they engage with. Watch how they play. This is the second thing. Watch how they play. Do they like to engage with people that need help, or it's like old people that need help, or small children that, oh, my cat's stuck in a tree? Do they like engaging? What do they like to engage with? I had one player that really engaged with trade, and he loved being an entrepreneur and starting his own leatherworking network. That's awesome. So I had to now sculpt my game, and even the lore and the cities they go to, guarantee you the next city they went to had a huge leatherworking shop that was a tycoon of the industry. How is he going to interact with that? You know what I mean? Make them care about your lore, and maybe tie in the lore of this leatherworker, and maybe he's tied into some other things. How does he get all this leather? Is he the one that's he was responsible for the mass genocide of all these creatures with some sort of pelts, and now they're almost extinct, which is why, see what I'm saying? Like, maybe the lore ties into this cool thing that one of your players really, really likes. And watch how they play. Watch what they engage with. And if they engage with a certain NPC, or if they engage with a certain type of NPCs or a group or something, weave the lore into that group. And then this now gets into the conditioning your players. Psychological manipulation is give them something where there was some book that they could have read. There was something that they could have done that they did not engage with because they're unengaging. What was the word? Uninquisitive players. Because they're uninquisitive, maybe they didn't engage with something, and then after the smoke settles, after the mission's over, they realize, oh, if we did, we could have got this. Or the NPC or whoever you're talking with is able to say like, oh, well, they see something that they could have gotten. And like, oh, maybe if we really, then we could, those next level monsters, or throw monsters at them where you have to research and find out some lore about the monster, maybe research it a little bit. And maybe a monster has something that completely levels them, and they go back to town and they're like, oh, well, if you spoke to the man in the mountain, he could have told you how he survived the tail of the whatever monster, right? So weave lore into parts that matter to your players, whether it's lore behind a magic item as far as how it works, or maybe they have a really cool sword and they want to figure out how to unlock its abilities, and they have to figure out some pieces for it. Don't make them jump through hoops through your lore. Do it to the parts of the story that means the most to them. Cool. There you go. There's another rant. I love weaving in backstory. Love weaving in backstory. Oh god, I keep hitting the freaking bumping my elbow on the mic here. Okay. Let me get caught back up here. Dungeon. Oh my gosh. Whitney Cornelli, another family member. This is just a big old family session, guys. That's my sister-in-law. This is just, and she's here. They're here in town. They came in to see it. Welcome, Whitney. She also, for the record, this is a shameless plug, she has a TikTok channel where she makes hand-drawn chalk signs. So that's super awesome. We're both content creators here, living the dream, right? What else we got? Jason Wahlberg, best mode to start DMing, make your own story. Hey, that's what I did. I jumped right into DMing with my own homebrew entire world. So, yep. Richard M with a $5 super chat. Appreciate it. Just just playing the trumpet. That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you, Richard. All right, cool. Boom. There you go. And Shelby, no problem. No problem. I got you with the question. I got so hyped about it. I had to do a rant. On it. All right. Next question. Man, I should have brought some water. I'm all hyped up talking 1,000 miles an hour. Coach, hi coach's family. Your boy is phenomenal. You're talking about me or you're talking about my boy? My boy or me? I don't know, Ava. Anyway, next question. Jaden Tiranov. Question. I am planning a murder mystery. To introduce my BBEG. Any tips on running a murder mystery? It's typical invented a dinner party and now nobody can leave. Okay, Jaden, I am going to plug someone else that's not me. They do what I eventually want to do, and they stream their games through a platform, and it's super professional. Dimension 20. Mice and Murder. Look up Mice and Murder. It is currently going on right now. In fact, it's I think it's, well, I don't want you to say it's streaming right now because then you'll leave me. But I think it actually might have just been over. Anyway, Dimension 20 has a live play series. You have to be a join Dropbox. So maybe wait 3 weeks or 2 weeks, join, or 1 week, or just now, honestly. Dropbox, they're not sponsoring me in any way. I think Brendan Lee Mulligan is an amazing dungeon master. This is his thing. If you want to watch a murder mystery, they have a live murder mystery. Because again, guys, if I don't have a huge, if the best resource out there for you guys is not me, I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm not just going to try and like, I have a video, ha ha ha. But I do have a video on Investigation Check is the title of it. It has a little stick figure with a magnifying glass. Watch that video. That will help you. And that was my version of answering your question. But Mice and Murder, Dropout TV has a Dimension 20 live stream where the entire session is a murder mystery. So you can't get better than that. There you go. There you go, Jaden. Next question from Nolt. How much content do you prepare to be safe on a session, considering the uncertainty that you don't know what the PCs will do? Will they RP for an hour? Will they skip your hooks? So myself, I in general over prepare, right? Because I don't see any downside to it, because you can always reuse it or repurpose it for later. And the key here is to minimize what you need to prepare for, right? So I picture it like a circle around them, right? So they're right here, wherever they're on the story, and really prepare this much stuff, right? Where are they going to go? What type of NPCs are there? What types of things could maybe happen? What things for sure will happen? What things were they saying they were going to do before they go? You know, like, we're headed here. Have that place ready to go, like 100% ready. And then one notch out further than that, what's that city about? What's the thing? Like, have very general basics. And then one step farther out than that, just have a general idea of, if they went this way, what would it be? Okay, this, what's happening in the world, what's, you know, just at least run through that in your mind so that you've at least thought of it and have that much, right? And then if they don't use the stuff, then you have it for later, right? And if you have, like, you know, this is an awful diagram. If they're here and they start going in this direction, that direction, this, and they never use any of the stuff that was back here, take this stuff, change it up, repurpose it, and put it out there in front of them in some different way, right? As in, don't, you know, cram it down their throats and force it on them unless you need to or want to or whatever. Put it out there somewhere else in front of them to see what happens, because that kind of does make sense too. Because if they left behind some stuff, maybe there's an entire, like, maybe you had this whole drug deal gang type scenario that you wanted to play and run through and see what's going on. Well, that escalated. The world's alive. They kept going this way. This is now how can they tie back into the story? Maybe they're part of a trade network that ties into the leatherworking trade network that has the thing, and maybe they're all in cahoots together, and now they have to deal with that problem out there. And now you can still introduce those characters and all those storylines and plot hooks that you thought about before. So, I hope that answers your question. Chandler, we have a super chat, $5 super chat from Chandler. So you made a Super Saiyan race in class. What comes next? Like, what's another homebrew class that you want to homebrew? Honestly, just released it yesterday. It's a psionic class. It's a psychic telekinesis class. They are not a full spellcaster, which might be surprising. They have a psychic energy dice system that they use. Super fun, super cool. And yeah, that's the next class that I released. After that is like full-blown psychic, like in your mind, and psychic like the Force telekinesis, right? There's a psychic knight subclass that's almost like a Jedi defensively, is how I kind of see it. Anyway, like a tank. Anyway, and after that, there's a shaman class that me and my best friend are working on, a shaman class. Ooh, and then there's also, which I've kind of already homebrewed, but it's a little, I don't want to say a little out there. It would need some polish before I send it out to the public at this point. But it's an airbender, like an avatar class, which is pretty much a sorcerer, but just more flavorful. So yeah, there you go, Chandler. I am Become Jeff. What's up? I am Become Jeff. I feel like I'm becoming Jeff because Jeff's always here in the live streams, bro. I appreciate you. $5 super chat from I am Become Jeff. Good evening, coach. Ever ran a fight club? Made one up on the spot at the end of last session. Any cool ideas for twists you can think for flair? Oh, I love it. What's funny is I'm actually watching Critical Role. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm getting caught up on Critical Role. I'm on episode like 82 and they're at like 140 something. So I'm behind. Um, but they are running a fight club right now, somewhere in the 80 somethings in the episodes. They just did a fight club, so that's really fun. It's really funny you said that. The cool thing about Fight Club is there's so many options to introduce a really cool NPC. Introduce a really cool NPC that's down on their luck, and that's why they're in the Fight Club. Introduce one that's truly like a villain that's been tracking them, and then have the Fight Club go bad. Like have the Fight Club be the rules, like some sort of there's rules in the Fight Club, no weapons, whatever, and then out of nowhere hit your player with a like double Constitution saving throws, which Crown of Candy, another Dimension 20 thing, did this where you have just a regular fist fight, cool, but then like they're rigged and somebody has like a secret venom and you take 30 poison damage. Wait, what? This fight's rigged, and then it's rigged, and they have to like, and then that'd be super crazy twist. So I would say one of the twists is somebody rigs the fight and they're trying to kill them, and it's not a fight club anymore. Ooh, let's go! I become Jeff. All right, cool. All right, next question. Let's go. We got no fun allowed. Hey, you can have fun here, dude. No worries. How's your day today? Day's good, dude. Day's good, dude. It's been crazy. A lot of the families that's in the chat. Hey, a lot of the family in the chat is got sick and everybody's got some sort of stomach bug going around. So I'm hiding and I've locked myself in this my studio all day. Sanctuary. I'm just kidding. This is the first time I've had a second to come in here and hang out with you guys and not get sick and everything. So hope we have good thoughts towards the family and them not getting more sick than they already are. But hey, things are good. Family's in town. It's all good. Son's birthday. Hey, it's all connected, right? 97 guys. We're almost at 100 people in here. Let's go. We're gonna keep firing through these questions. All right, cool. Next one. Question: why are you so awesome? Cisco Disco. Why are you so awesome? I appreciate that. But no, seriously, how do you deal with someone with a hermit background and how that affects the campaign? Hermit background. Ooh, I would talk to them of why. Like, why are you a hermit? You know what I mean? Like, what made you a hermit? What caused you to be a hermit? I'd push them on this. Like, if I'm gonna play with players, they got to give me a backstory. Like, I've had very rarely have I had a player get to the point where they just wouldn't give me a backstory because I press them on it. Because if I'm going to spend my time like jumping through hoops to make a game for you, you can invest 5 to 10 minutes in a conversation with me to make me ask you why and us like brainstorm stuff. Because if the player feels like they're not that creative, even though everyone has creativity in them, that's a whole nother rant. But even if that's the case, like let me just rattle off things and you say what things speak to you, and then we grab that and we rattle off more things and we'll create something together. So the hermit background, why are you a hermit? What caused you to be a hermit? Who'd you find out there? Who'd you meet out there who'd you meet out there and lost? Who did you find in your hermitness that you found and then died because it was just y'all two alone, right? Or if that's the direction you want to go with it, who did you find and then they left you, right? So find some humanity out there in the wilderness if they have a hermit background, or if they have any type of recluse or any type of background that doesn't lead itself to your games. So Avalon Inc. Yes, $15 super chat from Avalon. Ooh, Joe Cherry's getting low on health here, guys. The bard cast dissonant whispers at the boss. Joe Cherry, you hear voices in your head. You're gonna die. I'm gonna kill you. And you're a dragon, so you're like, no, this is fine. But they're inside your head. Maybe they can kill you now. You start to doubt yourself. Thanks, Avalon. Thanks, Avalon Inc. Okay, next. Wisdom save. The boss, Joe Cherry, rolled a wisdom save. Oh, that's funny. He's rolling saves for himself from the abilities y'all are casting at him as I narrate it. That's funny. Okay. Next question. Did you catch the Critical Role climax of their story, and what do you think if so? Okay, first of all, no, I did not catch the Critical Role climax of episode 2. That's crazy. And maybe it's the story arc you're talking about instead of the main overall thing. So no, I have not seen that yet. No spoilers in chat. Moderators, watch it, delete them or whatever. But no, I have not seen it. And if I did have that, I probably wouldn't share it during a live stream because I don't want to do spoilers. Because I did spoilers once because I did a video when I was new to YouTube and I was like, yeah, blah blah blah, Critical Role spoiler, and then I got ripped up for it and I felt bad. So anyway, yep, no spoilers, no no no. Next question, Arash Stedam. Question: How do you put current plot lines? How do you put current plot lines that your PCs don't follow into your campaign, so they are consequences of not following them? Right. So that kind of ties in, Arash, from what I said earlier. Right. So I assume you're here for that because that was a question from a while ago, and that's whenever I was on that topic. But the world's alive. The world's alive. Think about what would happen if that didn't go there. Now, I feel like you can't. You got to be careful because if they didn't know about this plot line, if they didn't know about this plot line that this happening, and they never even knew about it at all, because they legit like it's a legit that they didn't know about it. It's not like they just didn't care and they just ran right through the city and whatever, willy-nilly players, ha 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 ha. Then I wouldn't punish those players for not finding out about it. Maybe have some more things happening in the town, and as soon as you tell them about it through an NPC, through some rumors, through whatever, and they know about it, and then they choose to not go down that path, now you can punish them. You know what I'm saying? Now they've chosen that route, right? So I would say if you have this plot line that's boiling up and they never saw anything about it, okay, they didn't talk to this NPC or this NPC to find out about it, okay, it goes to the next level of boil up, right? And then they're in the next town and they hear, and then maybe you offhand mention it to someone, throws it off the cuff and nobody really picks up on it. And then the third level is you talk about it, you throw it at them, so an NPC's like, there's a problem that's happening with this and this and this or something, right? And then they still don't ignore it, then you can start to throw it down on them and just expand it out. Like, what would happen? Make it real bad, you know? I had that happen where they came to, the dwarves specifically were being kidnapped for lots of story reasons, and they went to save them. They saved them, but then immediately got caught, and then they got caught and they escaped, but the dwarves didn't, and then they didn't come back for a while. So it got worse. It got a lot worse. The security of the prison was way higher. They knew the people to look for and lots of different stuff. So yeah, that became a lot harder, and there was consequences for that. So yeah, but they did come back. So props to them. Richard with a $5 super chat. Thank you for supporting stackup.org. Help veterans strengthen their mental health. Hey, that Stack Up, Luke Hart did a whole thing with Stack Up. And whenever I get large, I mean, I guess I'm larger than I was, 23,000 subscribers now. But whenever I get, like, that's one of the things I want to do whenever I get like larger, to be able to have as much, you know, reach as I can to try and bring in stuff like that. Stack Up, mental health is huge, and support the veterans. So that's awesome. Richard, thanks for that. Thank you for that, Richard. Next question. Arash said, oh wait. Okay, yeah, I just answered that question. Okay, Travis Pura Hicks. Question: How would you go about making an underwater campaign? What examples of creatures would you homebrew for it? Ooh, underwater campaign. One of my sound panels is falling off, and it's the one it's the hardest one to get to. Anyway, sorry. Underwater campaign. That's super fun. That's super fun. I would talk to all the players beforehand if it's gonna be a campaign, because you said campaign, not just the story arc. It's a full-blown campaign here. So Shaogans, I love the Shaogans. I said it wrong, I probably mispronunciated it, but I love Shaogans. I've ran those before. But I would give each player some sort of different ability in the water. Maybe one of them has full on, only one of them would have pure full-blown water breathing. Only one of them would have pure full-on swim speed. Only one of them would have advantages that they get whenever they're in the water on attacks or something like that, right? So I would have the underwater campaign not just be like, okay, you guys all have underwater breathing and you all, like, they have to figure it out. So part of the early parts of the campaign would be them figuring out how to function in this underwater world. How fun is that? Instead of just starting off like, all right, you can all breathe underwater, you all have a swim speed, and you all have no advantage when you're attacking underwater. Everything's fine. We're just swimming around. Basically, you're flying. Okay, go. That's so lame. So, present them with challenges and hurdles that each have different strengths and weaknesses, and they can figure out ways together to overcome those weaknesses in this underwater setting, right? Cool. Creatures now. Electric eels. I think electricity in water, like it's shooting out, and maybe like I've had creatures where it was an electric attack, and there was these creatures like electrical jellyfish, and they had no damage. They dealt no damage, but they swam around and they sat there, and lightning would be a conduit to where they could extend this chain. This one, the boss creature had a chain lightning attack, and they shot lightning into the jellyfish, and the jellyfish could redirect their lightning, so they could like extend the reach of their lightning abilities through the jellyfish. And if you were around, so like the lightning would hit the jellyfish, pulse around the jellyfish, and then go to the next jellyfish. So you had to stay away from the jellyfish, but you need to get close to kill them maybe, but then you could have to stay away from them. So I think there's some really cool stuff you can do with water, and it's like conductivity of electricity is cool. Creatures that are super fast in the water, creatures that try and take the wind out of you, like their entire purpose is to like hit you in the stomach and make you lose your air. I think that's super interesting. There's so many cool things you can do with water, and that's the whole thing for the campaign. So boom, done. Next question. Oh, we got another super chat. Joe Cherry just healed himself, guys. He's not going down. Wow, I have been waiting for Coach to join. I just refreshed, and now I missed a lot. The platinum almost missed it all. Oh, that's funny. I didn't know. I don't know if I said this, but if the boss super chats while they're the boss, it heals them. So Joe just healed back up all of the psychic damage from Avalon, all of the finger gun pew pew pews. He basically second wins. And how I would describe this: the platinum dragon digs his claws into the ground, breaking into the crust beneath it, breathes fire straight down and engulfs himself in flames, and the heat from this flame starts to cauterize and melt the metal scales of his body back together to heal himself. Ooh, can he continue? I don't know. John Chi, what's up, DC? What's up, buddy? Bahamut was my grandfather. Ooh. Y'all, hey, he's putting up a fight, guys. He's putting up a fight. Y'all, it's gonna be big. Chris Trunks with a $10 super chat. Wait. Did I miss a super chat? No, okay, we're good. Okay, here we go. Chris Trunks super chat. Ever looked at D&D 3.5's Tome of Battle, the Book of Nine Swords, or its third-party adaptation for Pathfinder, Paths of War? They have classes, strikes, boost, counters, and stances for melee characters. Ha 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 ha! So my answer to that is no. I have not seen that. I have not seen either of those things. I've heard of Tome of Beasts, but not Tome of Battle. And adaptations from Pathfinder, I don't. But Chris, I do have this for you. Next month's PDF is an entire breakdown of the weapon system, the armor system, and shields. And it's not just a breakdown of the actual physical items. I'm talking about the system of how it works. Armor working differently, not just armor class. You miss or you hit. You miss or you hit. Completely changing it. Weapons. Each weapon, this is a sneak peek right here. I haven't said this yet. Each weapon is going to have a passive. So whenever you use a sword, it's going to feel different than when you use an axe because they have passive abilities that deal more damage in certain circumstances, right? A mace type blunt object is going to deal more damage to metal armored wearers, and it's going to dent and buckle in their armor. And if you have armor and it's dented into your skin, you move your shoulder, it's literally hurting you as you move this dented armor around. That's going to be a bad thing. So each weapon's going to have its own passive, and each weapon's going to have its own action ability that you can have martial actions for, which is a huge chapter in this whole section of martial actions. So I have taken this and already just ran to the extreme edge with this thing. I super love it, and it's a lot of the stuff that I've given the martial characters at my table through bonus level up perks. And a lot of the martials, you're really boring to attack twice. Okay, that was my turn. Instead of having a dynamic choice with what type of stuff you do with your actions. I have a certain weapon, I can do a cleave attack with a two-handed weapon and hit multiple things. Ooh, I could choose to take an action to do that instead of taking an attack and then an attack or whatever. I can swipe through them. Ooh, interesting, right? So there's my response to that, Chris. So sweet. Oh, wow, guys, 107 people in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here. That's awesome. I think that's a record. I don't even know. That's awesome. Let's keep it rolling. And it's 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna dial up the speed. We're going into overtime. So I'm gonna fly through some questions a little bit quicker. Okay. And let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Kiana Shelley. Wait. Been lately anyway, advice to GMs. Okay, already answered that question. How do you have a current plot lines? Answered that question. Raven Rich. Thoughts on a Kinku warlock who stumbles on someone making their pact and just mimicked it. Oh, what? No idea what they've gotten into. That's really interesting, Raven Rich. That's really interesting. They just say back what was said. I think that would be really cool if the Kinku. My interpretation of Kinku is they would have to understand certain languages, right? Like we all learn languages, but you wouldn't just inherently know every language. You could say and mimic it all back, but you wouldn't be able to understand it. You would have Kinkus would have, just like all of us, this is my interpretation of Kinkus. They would have their own knowledge of languages that they've learned or not. You know what I mean? Jaden, the lives usually last for an hour, and right now we're at an hour. So I'm about to go into overtime, and then I'll say some stuff about some cool stuff that are happening in the next coming weeks. There's giveaways that are coming in the next coming weeks, but we'll get to that. So anyway. So this Kenku, yeah, I would give them a pack they have no idea about. Now it depends on if, well, no, I think you're saying a Kenku warlock, so that's part of their backstory. I would have part of their backstory be there in the pack that they don't know how to be able to get to, and they have these weird abilities and quirks that they have, and maybe they can understand certain language that they never would have thought before, and they have to almost figure out what their pact is. And it'd be like a puzzle, so that's super cool. Love it, Raven. Ramiro Espinera. Question: if you have to do a Power Ranger class, how would you do it? Maybe color coded power via subclass. Oh, that's so funny. So now, oh god, my sinuses. I can't breathe. Oh gosh. Anyway, so my initial thoughts on this for a Power Ranger subclass. If you see my Ranger video, my fixes to the Ranger that I did with Pagner Bros, I changed it to a Power Ranger Halloween outfit. But I would not personally have the powers be the different colors via a subclass. I don't think there's enough differentiation between Power Rangers and their subclass and their other colors. You know, like the Red Ranger versus the Black Ranger versus the blue versus pink versus yellow, whatever. Like I don't see enough differentiation between them and how they fight to be worthy of a subclass. I feel like the subclass truly has to have some flavor, right? Maybe the subclass would be different iterations of different seasons of Power Rangers. That would be cool. So it's Dino or it's this or gosh, that's my childhood flashbacks right now. They'd be super crazy. But yeah, I would have some sort of, now if you want to do it the fighter level, you could have them be more so like a fighter or like a monk with a weapon type vibe. Or you could have it be where like they're literally a person that's a normal person and they have to transform to be able to do almost like a druid type situation into their fighting form to be able to fight, which is also kind of like the Megazord type situation. You know what I'm saying? So how I would do it is they would have their normal form would be very, very weak, like far weaker than normal. They'd have the ability to transform into being able to be a fighter, and their normal form would not be able to fight. They'd have to transform to be able to have all the cool stuff they can get access to. Which gives them a vulnerability there. I think is really cool. And then they have a one-time use ability, that probably they'd get at like probably 11th level or something, that they could be not the Megazord because that's huge and crazy, but it'd be like the super ultimate power form of whatever they have that they can do. So I'd be like a form changing thing, kind of like I did with Dragon Ball Z. So that's super cool. Love it, love it, love it. Druid Power Ranger that morphs into a Dino Ranger. Let's go. Oh, it's funny. Okay. We're going into overtime now. So I'm gonna take the TikTok phone here. Whoops. Bye TikTok. How do I end the TikTok? I don't even know. Okay, I'm just backing out. Okay. So I got my stopwatch here. I got a 5-minute shot clock, and I'm gonna rapid fire through these questions. Buckle up, guys. Buckle up because we're flying, right? And Joe Cherry, dude. You did it. You survived. So far. But here we go. 5-minute shot clock on the board. I'm going to answer these questions as quick as I can. Disclaimer, I apologize for being very quick with them, but I'm going to try to There's no way I get through all the rest of these, but I'm going to try to get through as many of them as I can because I do feel bad to not be able to answer all of them completely, fully, all the way 100%. So here we go. 5-minute shot clock starting now. Brian Lee, question: do you have a special dice that you use when you're running an adventure as a dungeon master? Yes, I have this big, huge D20 for some big rolls that I make, but then in general, I have about 4 sets of dice, black, purple, this bone color, and red dice behind my screen are all organized by type, and those are the type of dice that I use. And I have more than that off to the side if I know you need more D6s than that, you need more, whatever. But then yes, I do have this big metal dice for some big hype rolls, and I also have a dice tower for some big roll moments where I'm rolling in front of everybody, or there's some big call them hype rolls. JJ Brewer, question: would you consider doing homebrew reviews in future videos? Yes, I actually am doing a homebrew review. I was gonna do it on Galder's guide, and it wasn't released yet, and so I had to wait. And I'm trying to work with Zipper on Disney, another D&D YouTuber. That got kind of pushed back, and then so that's gonna be my first launch of it. I'm gonna launch that. It's gonna come out in probably August or something. I'm launching that, and depending on how well that does, I'm gonna do homebrew reviews where people submit it to me, and then I break it down in good or bad ways, and just kind of share my thoughts on homebrew. Not trying to make fun of people because that's not the point of it. Just my perspective, right? Ramiro, question: if you have to do a power ranger, already answered that. Jesse Shaw, question: I'm a DM for doing Lost Mines of Fandelver, and they just entered the Wave Echo Cave. I'm wondering if you have any pointers for long-term motives for Nazar. I do not run modules, so no, I'm sorry. I have reskinned everything, and I ran the first encounter, but I turned them all into Dragonborn and Kobolds, and I made an entire different thing having to do with wild magic. So I am too homebrew to run a module, so I can't help you there. I'm sorry. But question, especially rapid fire. Aaron, would you give a subclass to a separate class? Would you give a subclass to a separate class, like a Battlemaster Ranger with a Death Domain Paladin? Heck yes, I would. I'm the freaking homebrew champion, dude. I'm saying that as in, like, I'm always open for stuff like that. And if a player wanted to go down that route, let's go. And I have a multi-classing video. Watch my multi-classing video, and you'll see how I handle that as people level up at the same time. Or people's classes level up together, and they get to choose from which class that they've multi-classed into. So you don't have to it's not like linear like it is. Like, they level up together and you choose which perks you want from which. So anyway, Hero Metzger, hey, I run a 1-on-1 campaign, and the PC is a rogue, and I want an NPC that can give them someone to talk to without being useless and not overshadowing. Any advice? Give them someone who easiest way is give them someone who's dumb. Give them whatever type of person you want to give them. If you want to have magic, have them be a dumb sorcerer, maybe a divine soul sorcerer. And all they can do is heal, and they try and do other stuff, but it's not the best, but they can heal really good. Or whatever things you want this person to have them be inept in some way that they can't do something, and they need the other player, whether they're super weak, super slow, not the smartest to being able to kind of handle things. Maybe they're very insecure. Maybe personally they doubt themselves a lot, and they always ask the other person what they can do. So that's how I can handle that. LMA Forehead, question: first time DM, I've got 2 players. Campaign setting is modern day London. Whoa. PCs are detectives and magical crime division. Trying out a serial killer murder mystery. Can't think of a good BBEG. Ooh, I would do a Rakshasa. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Do a Rakshasa. It'd be super hard to figure that out. I've done a mystery type thing with a Rakshasa. They are amazing. I love them for all of those reasons. Very mischievous. Chris Trunks, question: have you ever looked at? Oh, there it is. New DM. Hey, new DM. Group will bring them back sometime. Evil gods in the plane. I have a hard time to find that make stats for them, and the gods. Okay. So if you try to make up stats for a god, if it's truly a god, I wouldn't even make up stats for it. Give them things that they can do, and then just do them, and it's a god. So I think too many times in Dungeons and Dragons, we stat things that shouldn't be statted because they should be far beyond anything the players do. If they do something, if they cast Dominate Person on the player, it just happens. It's a freaking god or whatever. Or just have the DC be 30, sure, right? But I think God should feel powerful so that the world feels like they should feel small compared to a god, unless they start leveling up to the point where they're going to take down gods, or you want to go that route. That's a whole other thing. Rapid fire, here we go. Grant Johnson, do you use magic shops? If so, how powerful do you make the magic shop owner in the world? So that depends. I've had shop owners that are freaking badasses, and you gotta watch out because they will destroy you. Or I've had very what do you call it, haphazard, or like Jar Jar Binks type stuff, or like, oops, I made I don't know, it has a magic item, it has a power properties, I don't know, and they have some sort of magic that it does, but they had no idea how they did it. So I've had a person like that. I've had a person who's just the middleman, and they just sell the magic items, and like the big overlord person's scary, and I've done something like that before. So I love magic items. I just homebrew a bunch of different magic items, have them in there. I also have a system. This would be this isn't going to be in the Kickstarter because it's not really that part of the book, but I guess it's the crafting system. So maybe I would put it in the book, of how to make a magic item from scratch. How, like, you could literally make a magic item. You could come up with a price, what it does, all super simply in this whole system here. Or you can also check to see how much magic items cost by this chart. You know what I'm saying? So that's another way that I do that, is try to um, price check magic items. I don't know. Wait a second, guys. I never started the timer. I've for sure been going on for 5 minutes now, so that's funny. I'm gonna answer a couple more, and then we'll call it a day. Oh, Rakshasas are OP, Steve Rini. Yes, they are. For sure. Let's go. I'd give my left hand to play a Rakshasa. Heck yeah, I'd give my backwards hand to play a Rakshasa. I wondered why you didn't stop yet. I know, right? Thanks, Andre. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna hit up the next question. Magic Shop favorite. Do you have a favorite monster in Dungeons and Dragons? If so, it's a Rakshasa. That's an easy one, Byron Lee. Run a 101 game. Questions of Room Occultist. You want to run out more bonus perks either? Oh, question. Will you come out with more bonus level up perks either in a new book or another resource? Love the first one you came out with and want more. Channing Eastman. This will be the last question. Channing Eastman says, will you come out with more bonus perks in either a new book or a resource? Love the first one you came out with and want more. I already right now have a second book that's pretty much done with. Whenever I did the first one, and we did a whole bunch. Me and my the Homebrew Council did a whole bunch of stuff for that first one. 163, I think, 160 different bonus perks. It's on my website now in a PDF form. You can get, it's 160 bonus level perks for every single class in the game, every single subclass in the game. It's crazy. Whenever we made that, we made twice as much as we needed, and I have an entire another thing for the bonus level perks. I don't know when I'm going to throw that down. It's probably going to be August, September. I'm gonna do a soft release on September is when it's coming. So buckle up for that. September is gonna be where that comes out. But I wanted to space them out because I know I did bonus level up perks in January, February, March. April is when I did that. So I'm gonna wait at least 6 months before I do another one, because I don't want to be release it too frequently. But yeah, that is coming. So that's all the stuff I do on Patreon every single month and all that kind of stuff. So stream goal, we did not hit the stream goal, but hey, that's freaking solid, guys. I super appreciate it. Y'all had to try and take down Joe Cherry, and we got another super chat from Tic Tac 7. Happy birthday to the youngling purple dragon. I appreciate that. That is super chat. I think that might be the first super chat specifically for Talon. My son's name is Talon, like a dragon's Talon. I tricked my wife into naming him Talon because I'm just kidding. So that's a first birthday super chat is what I'm trying to say. I appreciate that. That was really cool. That's really cool. That's really strange in the most awesome way that through YouTube super chat, online here chatting with the you guys, super chatting my son for his birthday. That's awesome. I appreciate that. So anyway, that's that. This thing I have right here. This is a notebook my wife got me for Father's Day. I know if it's not Father's Day yet, but this was super cool. This is the cover to Alcander's Almanac, the Kickstarter that comes out a month from today. Oh my God, guys, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. So that's coming out soon. It's gonna be huge. I have a bunch of other YouTubers are coming together. Did a bunch of ads on their channel to throw out there. So hopefully that'll be cool to see other big YouTubers talking about us. So that'll be cool. And let's see, this week, the Psionic PDF is the video on the Psionic class. It's going to be a whole breakdown on how that whole thing works and how what about creating it? Because Purius and Pagna Bros and Dark Abyss Keeper all had their own versions. These are part of the homebrew council that I have. Because anytime you homebrew, guys, anytime y'all homebrew, collaborate with other people, talk to other people, share your ideas, brainstorm back and forth. There has not been something big that I have created without sharing it with people and just getting it out there. It's going to be better, even if the person you share it with, and this happened a lot. Not with the people I talk with now, because I really like we're synced up in a lot of homebrew ways. But there's been many times where I've shared homebrew ideas with people, and they've been like, "Oh, well, I don't know about this, and this is really not that," and like they just didn't see it. But through that process, they asked a question that made me think of something that then, or they shot down something, or they didn't like something that maybe I thought of a way to tweak it so that we both like it. Like it's always going to be better to share with other people. So anyway, I share about that process that how this whole psionic class and the 7 subclasses and 6 psionic races and all this kind of stuff came to be. But that's this week's video, and that's it. Let me see what else is going on. I'm also thinking about ways to end the stream. So maybe if I'll do the weirdest suggestion of how to end the stream. I've been ending the stream in weird ways, so we maybe just continue that. I don't know. We're talking about Jack Rakshasa. That is Jack the Ripper. Ooh, that would be a scary boss man. Freebie if you want homebrew. What? Heyo, like the new haircut. Thanks, Steel Skin. Thanks, Steel Skin. I pretty much I take my haircuts like a bear. I like hibernate. So I like get it super short, clean cut. And then I do the same with the beard and I like super trim it down. And then I just slowly morph into a homeless person. And then I tighten it back up. So I appreciate that. Oh, Zoolander model post. Charles Burton. Done. Charles Burton. I just saw Zoolander. Zoolander was my favorite Blue Steel. It's going Blue Steel. I might do La Tigra. For those super hardcore Zoolander fans. La Tigra. But that's how I'm gonna end it with a La Tigra face. Let me see. Can I turn around here? Okay, so I gotta get my hand here. Okay, well, so anyway, stay creative, guys. Think outside the box. Lots of big stuff coming in the next upcoming month. So holla Rakshasa. Y'all, I love that y'all are loving the Rakshasa. Roll a dice to end the stream. That would be random. But we're gonna go out and Zoolander La Tigra look right here, okay? I'm gonna gotta get the lips moist, you know. Ooh, here we go. um, I loved Zoolander all growing up. It was my favorite movie all through. I think it's very inefficient to watch movies multiple times, and I'm sorry if I upset anybody, but I only watch a movie once usually, unless there's some sort of twist, and then I want to rewatch it with knowing about the twist and stuff, or if it's like something crazy and awesome, and I just really want to watch it again. But it's very rare because I have a code of efficiency, so I don't watch movies multiple times. I've seen Zoolander probably 30 times, so I, for some reason, just really love Zoolander growing up. So this means a lot to me, guys. So I appreciate Charles Burton for throwing out Zoolander. So here we go. I gotta get my hair good though, you know, because we're gonna be a male model here. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta practice one second. Hang on one second. All right, ready? Stay creative. Think aside.